Hi, my name is Sam Kelly, and I'm here with It Girl to answer the most searched questions about me. This is Search Bar. What is Sam Kelly known for? Well, I started doing TikTok with my ex-boyfriend that I recently broke up with, and we did a lot of prank videos and couples videos. But now that we're broken up, I kind of do videos by myself. So I'm kind of transitioning into my own videos with like fashion and just me, myself, you know? When did Sam start to blow up online? I started to blow up online when I started dating my boyfriend, Vincent Giganti, I'm sure you guys all know. And I think we just did a prank video, like, it was so cringy, honestly. I think it was like a pregnancy prank video. It was staged, and it was horrible. Honestly, it gives me the ick looking back on some of my old videos with him. But yeah, I think that it just from there, it blew up and we continued making videos. And then we kind of moved farther away from prank videos and more into just our life as a couple.
What year did you start?
I would say 2021. Yeah, a lot of people think that we started in COVID, but it really wasn't during COVID, yeah. Yeah. Where is Sam from? I'm from New Jersey, a small town in New Jersey, like northeastern New Jersey, which is like probably 30 minutes away from the city. That's why I'm able to come into the city a lot. Does Sam Kelly have an accent? I would say I have a little bit of an accent. A lot of people say I fake my accent. I've been getting that a lot lately. If you know my ex-boyfriend Vincent, he has a heavy, thick accent, but he's from Hoboken, New Jersey, actually. And so they have a different accent than from where I grew up. I do have an Italian grandmother, and I lived with her for like 12 years. So I feel like that's where I kind of pick up my accent. I mean, my sister, well, actually I have one sister that has like a British accent. Like she sounds insane. Yeah, she does not have a Jersey accent at all. Like she says, talk. Are you gonna walk maybe that's Boston. That's Boston, right? Are you gonna walk the dog? Yeah. So yeah, I get my accent from my grandma. Rest in peace, I love that girl. Did Sam graduate, like from college? No, I didn't. I started college. I was supposed to go to Florida Atlantic University, and I went for 1 year, but I did most of it online because that was in 2020, so it was like COVID. But yeah, then I started doing TikTok, and I told my dad that I kind of wanted to focus more on TikTok. He was extremely upset about it, but he eventually was okay with it, and I took a year off of school, and now I'm doing a few classes online though. Yeah, but I don't know what I'm majoring in. What did Sam study? At first, when I first was going into college, I really had no idea what I wanted to be. I had no clue. I mean, like most 18-year-olds, I would assume. So I didn't have I think I was undecided, but I also went into business. I don't know why though. But I remember my 3 options were a lawyer, a politician, and a businesswoman. Like those were the only things that I could think of. What is Sam's natural hair color? It's brown. Can you see my roots? They're so bad. And people always want me to go back brown. Those are like my most commented things, is that everybody's like, you need to go back brown. And I don't know, like I have so many gray hairs. That's the reason that I feel like I can't go back brown. So we'll see, maybe one day. I feel like for my wedding, I should probably go back brown if I have a wedding. What is Sam Kelly's workout routine? So basically I do legs and glutes are like my main thing because I don't really care about being like buff up top, but I know that's not good. Like you're supposed to work on each thing. But yeah, so I do glutes and legs twice a week, and then I'll do like upper body, maybe hip back. But I alternate that with Pilates. I really love Pilates. So Pilates for upper body and then weightlifting for lower body. Is Sam a full-time influencer? Yeah, I would say I'm a full-time influencer, but I take 2 college classes, so. A day job? Yeah, when I was in high school, I worked at an aftercare with children. Yeah, I like that job. I like working with children. Okay, what is Sam Kelly's net worth? I don't know. What is my net worth? Ian, do you know?
Don't disclose?
I guess I have to take a shot. I'm scared. Wait, I have to hold my nose. Does anybody else do that? Ew. How much money have you spent on White Fox clothes? I don't really spend money on White Fox clothes because they send me clothes. So in the past, like before I started working with them, I spent a lot of money on White Fox clothes from whatever I was making at the aftercare that I worked at. But yeah, now I don't really spend money on White Fox clothes because they do send me clothes because I make a lot of videos for White Fox. Okay, what was the most expensive item you've been gifted through PR? Oh God, I don't know. I really feel like I don't get like expensive gifts. I mean, that might be hard. Should I just take a fucking shot? Okay. Are the NYC influencers cliquey? I don't know. I don't really, like, I don't consider myself a New York City influencer, you know? I just recently met Ray. I'm obsessed with her, and Fiona Jordan. I love her. But other than that, I don't collab with people. I feel like because I was a couples content creator, I didn't really like do my own thing, and that's like part of what I was saying before. So I didn't really do any collabs with people. And yeah, so I don't know much about them. I don't know if they're cliquey. Maybe, who knows? What was your worst experience with an influencer? I would say that it was, I'll tell you the experience, like it was like a on-the-spot interview, and it was a girl, and so I'm like, let me know what you're gonna ask, like whatever, like it wasn't like an official podcast. And she like kept laughing and like wouldn't tell me, and then they started recording, and then she just like asked like a really rude question, and I was like, what? Like, you're a girl, like you're not supposed to do that, you know? Yeah, but I don't know if she's an influencer. I don't know who that girl is. Why aren't you verified? I don't know, Ian. Why am I not verified? You guys gotta blame my manager for that one. How would you describe your content? Well, like I said, in the beginning, it was couples content, pranks, and now, I mean, it's very fresh. I literally just broke up with Vincent, so I haven't really been able to transition into my own content yet, but lately I've just been doing my clothing hauls and some lip singing videos in my dresses. Yeah, so that's basically it. Does Sam have a podcast? So I call it a podcast, but it's not really a podcast. I don't upload it as a podcast, but I just sit in my room on my desk with a microphone. I don't know why I even installed a microphone if I'm not uploading it as a podcast, but I do wish to have one soon. I just don't know anything about the technicalities behind a podcast. What is Chit Chat and Change? Oh, that's my podcast. I call my podcast Chit Chat and Change. I actually did ChatGPT to find that name for my podcast. Yeah, and it's about, you know, generational trauma, therapy, all that like deep stuff. And I loved, that's like really what I'm passionate about. So that's why I figured like what is the best thing I could talk about endlessly, like for hours and on hours. And I would say it's therapy, probably.
What's one of the main things you like to talk about on the podcast?
Well, so first I wanted to start the podcast because there were so many questions regarding my breakup with Vincent, so many rumors. And so that was like the first episode. And then like going forward, I actually just did a recent episode with my dad because I want to delve into my upbringing and like kind of talk about the wiring of my brain and like how it kind of played into my relationship with Vincent. So to do that, I needed to start with my dad because to see the generational trauma, you have to see his upbringing. So in that video, I kind of talked with my dad about his upbringing, and his upbringing was really, really hard. So, but you can see it like kind of trickle down into my upbringing. So yeah, that's basically, I don't really have many plans for going forward, but we'll see. Who is Sam Kelly's ex-boyfriend? My ex-boyfriend is Vincent Gigante. He's also a TikToker. A lot of people comment that they miss him on my videos, but good news is he also makes videos. He's also a content creator, so you can go check out his page if you miss him. Why aren't Sam and Vincent together anymore? Oh God. So, long story short, I've been in therapy for 5 years, and I learned a lot about my brain and about generational trauma and how important your upbringing is. And I'm committed to not repeating any trauma from my children, my future children going forward. And with Vincent, it just wasn't possible. Like he wasn't growing at the same rate that I was. And it just wasn't working. For our like particular circumstances, oh God, I'm starting to slur. For our like specific circumstances, because In other relationships, it is 1000% possible to grow together, but for the specific circumstances that we had, it just wasn't possible. So that's like long story short. Can you be friends with an ex? I think I'm probably learning this the hard way right now. I'm trying to be friends with my ex currently. It's going okay, I guess. It's very complicated. My situation is very complicated because there's so much love there, and when you leave a relationship that still has so much love, that's what makes it like even more difficult. And I'm still like very attached. So if you watch any of my YouTube videos, you know that I was in like a fixer role with Vincent. And so I'm very attached to his outcome and how he's doing in life. And so I'm always trying to help him still. And if I was giving advice to my best friend, I would say no, don't be friends with your ex. But I should probably take my own advice. Are you and Vincent still speaking? Yes, I actually just saw Vincent yesterday. He brought my one dog, Rocky, over to see my other dog, Apollo, who lives with me. And yeah, it was good. We talk about therapy, we talk about the comments that we're getting, you know. It's a lot to navigate. He's going through his own stuff. And like I said in my videos, I hope that he eventually opens up to you guys about that. Because it's hard for me to even talk to you guys about it if he's not sharing his side of the story. So yeah, so there's not much I can say until he does that. But yeah, just know that there's things going on behind the scenes and we're all navigating like through this for the first time. Have you gotten backlash since you announced the breakup? Yes, I have. I feel like being a couples account, you don't really get much hate, you know? Like there's not, like nobody really hates you. I feel like you're just there to be funny. And also, I also forgot, because I've been like in a relationship for so long, I forgot how like the world treats like single people. Like it's like, you're just, I don't know, I feel like maybe you're viewed as less of a threat when you have a boyfriend or you're in a committed relationship. But like, geez, the slut shaming is insane. Like I get called a slut in my DMs. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
A slut in my DMs all the time. I get mean, nasty comments, like terrible things people say. And I never really got that before. And you would think because I'm an influencer, I'd be used to that by now, because I've been an influencer for so long. But I just never dealt with that hate. So that is something that I'm trying to navigate right now. Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Why do you think people gave so much hate after the breakup?
I see a lot of people, they say that they think that I tried to paint Vincent to be like this bad, evil person. And I felt like I tried to do the opposite. I mean, I didn't share anything about our relationship. Like I could have shared a lot, but because I love him and I don't want people, because I'm able to forgive his mistakes, I don't know if the world is able to see him as like, to have empathy for his mistakes. So I'm not sharing his mistakes. So I felt like I was kind of protecting him, but in a way, a lot of people think that I was trying to paint him to be like this terrible person. But me and Vincent are both on like the same page. So a lot of people are just like trying to pin us against each other, and that's not really what is going on behind the scenes, you know? Would you ever have a public relationship again? No, absolutely not. I just feel like I don't know. I also just kind of feel like my husband is probably going to be somebody who's not involved in social media. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't know. We'll see. I still have to find out about myself, you know?
Do public relationships put pressure on the relationship?
The one thing I could say is that when you're both working together, like that's your job, yeah, there could be like a little bit of a strain because if somebody doesn't want to work that day, whatever, like, and then also you're spending all your time together. Like in normal relationships, like you guys will go off to work. Like we work together and we stay home together to do that work. So yeah, it could put a strain on the relationship, but I would say that's definitely not like a factor in our breakup. Did you lose any brand partnerships when you and Vincent broke up? No, actually that was a concern of mine. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. You know, we made all of our videos together. Like these brands are probably taking a risk by still working with me if I'm not with Vincent. I mean, all my clothing hauls, every brand partnership we've ever done has been together. And I don't know how I didn't know how it was going to be going forward if it was just me. But surprisingly, I didn't lose any. And so far it's been going good. Is there anything in your career that you would have done differently looking back? I feel like I would have focused more on our personalities and like who we are as individuals instead of just the prank videos. I feel like the prank videos, they were silly, but maybe they were in at the time, I don't know. But looking back, I think those videos are cringy. I don't really see any other couple videos, so I don't know if that's still a thing, like the pranks. I would focus more on individualism with us, so you guys could get to learn about us instead of like us as a couple, probably. Does Sam Kelly have a new boyfriend? No, absolutely not. No. I haven't even really talked to any boys since our breakup. Who's the most famous person that slid into your DMs after the breakup? I have to take a shot. This is embarrassing. I didn't even think about this. Like, I have to hold my nose to take a shot. I'm gonna get bullied in the comments. Okay, that's 3 shots. I'm a lightweight, so this is insane. What is the most controversial dating advice? Most controversial? I would say a lot of people, I feel like men and women would like kind of side-eye me if I said this, but for me personally, I feel like just like that jealousy and that like over analyzing a person and having like these strict rules with another person, like I'm not for that. I will never date a person that's jealous or possessive or controlling ever going forward, because I don't like that. And I know a lot of people might disagree, like there should be rules, like you can't be too friendly with somebody, but I feel like that's so silly, and I feel like that's something that's like new to this generation. So yeah, I feel like that is something that might be a little controversial, but I don't know. Is that controversial? At first, jealousy can like be really like, oh, he's protective over me. But like, no, it's really not good. It really takes away your autonomy and your agency. And I hate that. I hate that feeling of like not. And I was actually just talking about this with my therapist. I feel like jealousy, like somebody being jealous and possessive over you is almost like degrading, because they're not viewing you as like this human being. Like they're viewing you as like a sexual object that like people are just sexually attracted to you and that's it. Like that, not that you're a human being that could just have conversations with people and like people could just enjoy talking to you as a human being. You're not just like a sexual object. So yeah, that's something that I just thought of recently. When do you know it's time to leave? Jeez. I feel like first, you have to have those conversations. Like if there's an issue, you have to address those things. You can't just assume that they know that there's these issues. Like communication is key. So you address these things, you try to work on it, and you're also working on yourself at the same time. So whether, I don't wanna like inflict therapy upon you guys and say that you have to go, but I personally believe therapy is a great thing and that everybody should go to it. But whatever it is for you, whatever working on yourself is for you, I think that as you work on yourself and you work and your partner is working on themselves, you'll learn more about your relationship. And eventually, if you're growing like this and your partner is just like staying stagnant, then it's time to question whether or not this is good for you, because most likely it's not good for you. And if you were in a situation like I was, being the person that's waiting for somebody else to grow, it affects your mental health as well and your growth, because you're kind of like waiting there for them, and it can just really take a toll on your growth and your mental health. So at some point, if you feel like your relationship is taking too much of a toll on you as a person, then it's time to question whether or not this relationship is going to go places. And also imagining your partner as a mom or as a father. If you don't see that or you don't like that idea of that, then yeah, it's definitely, I think it's best to question those things and to definitely think about those things. A lot of people go into marriage and they don't even like think about how this person is going to be a father or a mother to their children. You know, they don't even have those conversations. And I think that's so important, because that's the reason everybody has trauma. Like their parents just didn't talk about it. If they would have talked about it beforehand, then maybe it would have been better. So yeah, I think that's definitely when you know it's time to leave. What is the best piece of advice you received from therapy? Oh, that's a good question. I think the most influential advice that I received from therapy, for me specifically because of my upbringing, was just that children in general can do no wrong, because I feel like as a child I carried a lot of guilt and shame about my upbringing just in general. Like there's a lot that goes into that, but yeah, to hear that I didn't do anything wrong, and that a child, like if you think about it, when you look at a child, like what can, like a 5-year-old kid, what could they possibly do that's so bad, that's so terrible, that deserves such punishment, you know? They can't do anything. So to hear that was like eye-opening for me. But I don't know if that's like a huge thing for everybody else. I feel like that's more specific to my own upbringing. But yeah, that is definitely something that like stuck with me from therapy. What is the key to happiness? Oh my God, you guys. You guys were like, oh, she goes to therapy, let's ask her these. I would say the key to happiness is self-love. The first and foremost thing is that you have to love yourself, and you can't love anybody else or have really healthy relationships if you don't love yourself. A lot of insecure people don't know that they project like some of their insecurities on those that they love, and I'm sure it's not intentional. Just making decisions for yourself. Like every decision you ever make in life should be for you and for nobody else. That's the key to happiness. What will your content focus on now that you're single? I want to like show my personality more and be more connected and just share my life and my thoughts. Like those are all things that I never really did when I was making TikToks with Vincent. So I feel like, yeah, I'll just be focusing on my life and just whatever's going on in my life. That's basically it. What's next for Sam Kelly? I don't know. I feel like I obviously want to share more of myself and my thoughts and anything that I learned from therapy and just from my life experiences. So I want to continue doing that. And then I have my podcast that I do that I want to continue doing. And yeah, I just want to continue branching out, and I want to keep meeting new people. I mean, the people that I've met since Vincent and I broke up, they've been amazing. And yeah, so I'm just looking forward to getting to know everyone, and then also for my audience to get to know me. All right, guys, that was all the questions. Thank you guys for having me. See you soon.